Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back to our channel. Today we're going to talk about a topic that directly impacts many people who use Android smartphones. I wanted to start with a question. Milena, have you ever stopped to think about where that money you or our children spend on games like Fortnite goes?
Wow, Rodrigo, great question. I wonder where that money we spend on Superman, Naruto, or even Chapolin Colorado skins goes. According to Leon and Nilsi's video, this money is being used to change the world, and it might change Android forever. Remember, everyone, at the end of the video, we will leave the channel's information where we are analyzing the news so you can subscribe.
Guys, I need your help now. Do you believe that companies like Google and Apple have the right to block other app stores and charge whatever they want from companies to put their apps in the store? Or do you think this is an illegal monopoly? Let's talk. Leave your opinion in the comments. Back to the subject. Epic Games, the creator of Fortnite, just had a huge victory that could be definitive against Google. Epic had filed a lawsuit against Google some time ago, requesting the opening of the Play Store. And this victory is a repetition of a previous decision, which shows that Google is in a complicated situation.
Yes, and in the video, they detail Epic's requests, which are quite ambitious. Epic wanted, for example, Google to allow alternative payment methods in apps. In other words, you wouldn't need to use Google's system, which charges 30% on everything spent in the apps. Additionally, they wanted Google to be required to allow the installation of other app stores directly from the Play Store, something Google used to allow, but in a very complicated way, as the video explains.
That's right. And the most surprising thing, according to the video, is that Epic won this case on several points, even after Google appealed. Leon comments that the victory is total and that the Ninth Circuit Court of Appeals will not overturn the unanimous jury verdict of 2023. This means that Google's App Store and payment system were deemed illegal monopolies. It's a serious accusation.
It's very heavy. And they show a tweet from Epic's CEO, Tim Sweeney, celebrating the victory and even making a provocation. He says that thanks to the verdict, the Epic Store for Android will arrive on the Google Play Store, and that the store is already available worldwide on Epic's website. What he is celebrating, as Leon points out, is that Google will be forced to allow the distribution of Epic's store through its own store.
The video explains that due to this decision, several things that were decided in 2023 but were suspended because of the Google appeal will now be implemented. They mention some measures, such as starting from November 1st, 2024, Google will no longer be able to require Google Play billing as the only payment method and cannot force developers to use the system that charges 30%.
Yes. The video also mentions that developers will be able to inform users about other payment methods on the Play Store and even create links to download their apps outside the store. Additionally, Google will no longer be able to force developers to keep the same price on apps if they have alternative prices on other platforms.
And there is a very important point that the video raises. Google will no longer be able to share revenue from apps with companies that distribute Android apps or plan to launch their own stores. This is a monopolistic practice where Google paid carriers or phone manufacturers to prioritize their apps. As the video points out, it is a way to ensure a non-competitive relationship, paying to prevent other entities from including third-party stores.
Exactly. And the narrator of the video makes it clear that if he understood correctly, Google will no longer be able to offer money or advantages for developers to launch their apps exclusively on the Play Store. The most ironic thing is that he reminds us that Epic Games itself does this in its PC store, paying for exclusivity of some games. This is a point that the video emphasizes to highlight the complexity of the situation.
That's right. Other points mentioned in the video that Google will no longer be able to do are offering money or advantages to developers not to release their apps in rival stores and giving advantages to device manufacturers to pre-install the Play Store or not to pre-install rival stores. As they say, this was Google's way of maintaining a feudal control over the Android ecosystem.
And they explain that this decision is a true revolution. Previously, app developers were required to follow all of Google's restrictions, could not advertise other forms of payment, or avoid that 30% fee, which is very high. Google used its position to negotiate with manufacturers like Samsung, which is the largest seller of Android phones outside of China, to make their products preferential.
The video makes a very interesting comparison with Apple. They explain that Epic also sued Apple but lost the case. The reason, according to the video, is that Apple has a closed system and used security and seamless integration between its products as arguments. Google, on the other hand, has a system that is, in theory, open, which makes it vulnerable to this type of lawsuit.
Exactly. And Milena from the Leon and Nilsey channel emphasizes that although Android is open, Google has always made it difficult to install alternative stores. To install one, you need to download it from a website. And Google issues a series of security warnings, which end up scaring most users.
It is what they call an anti-market practice to create a monopoly. And the video points out that by doing this, Google is in a situation of exposure and vulnerability. That's why they lost. The central and most impactful part of this decision, however, is that Google will have to allow alternative stores to be placed within Google Play.
This is the decision that the video highlights the most. No one used to install an alternative store before because the process was too complicated for the average user. With the possibility of downloading the Epic Store directly from the Play Store, everything changes completely. It's, as they say in the video, a matryoshka of applications. You will download one app to download others.
It is the great victory that Epic wanted for its Android store, but as the video also warns, this part of the decision will not be immediate. The judge gave an 8-month deadline for Google to create a secure system for this, since one of the company's claims was the lack of security. Therefore, the public will see this at the earliest in 2026, and for now, only in the United States.
Yes, and they make it clear that this applies first in the USA, but once the structure is established there, Google can no longer argue in other countries such as Brazil and Europe that the change cannot be made. This paves the way for the decision to reach other jurisdictions, which could transform the way we use our smartphones. Folks, this video doesn't end now. It continues with us chatting in the comments. If you find this video interesting, I invite you to become a channel member and like this video. Up here on the top right, I will leave a video suggestion for you to continue with me.
Exactly. As always, thank you very much for watching. I am Rodrigo, she is Milena, and we'll see you next time with more news.